Food, art, culture, and conversation. That's what sparks my sense of adventure. I'm Tim McMahon, and I'm exploring the unique places, hidden gems, and breathtaking views of the Midwest. Come with me for a curious look at the fascinating worlds within a short drive of the Glass City. This is One Tank Travel. To know it is to experience it. All of it. The culture, the character, and the history that is South Pass Island, aka Put-in-Bay. Like any trip to the Bay, my journey started on Lake Erie, and in this case, aboard the Miller Ferry's Mary Ann Market vessel. Named in honor of the late matriarch of the Market family, this 140-foot-long ferry debuted in September 2022 and can transport up to 600 passengers or 26 vehicles. The largest ferry in the Miller fleet, Mary Ann departs from the dock at Catawba to South Pass Island every half hour during the busy summer season and provides a smooth and serene journey along with picture-perfect views. From open water to land. The quirky rides of Ease golf carts set the tone for my adventure. I said, "Hello there," to Obi-Wan, and off I went. Downtown was the destination, though not to dine, but to learn. I sought knowledge, and I found it at Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial.
The monument opened to the public in 1915. Construction started in 1912 for the centennial of both the War of 1812 and the Battle of Lake Erie. Construction lasted until 1915, and then it opened up to the public for tours.
And this is named after Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry,
Yes.
which also is Perrysburg, Ohio.
Yep, so Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry was a naval commander from the War of 1812. In 1813, he was designated command of the Lake Erie Squadron for the U.S. Navy here on the lakes and stationed here at Put-in-Bay.
What are we looking at? What was used to create this memorial?
So the exterior of the memorial is all Milford pink granite from Milford, Massachusetts. When we head inside the rotunda, you'll see limestone walls from Indiana, as well as Tennessee and Italian marble in the floor. And the way it was designed allows visitors on the observation deck to see over the Canadian border, which is the longest undefended border in the world between the U.S. here and Canada, over 5,000 miles.
What's it like to have this here for people to come by and see?
It's incredible. Most of the people come to Put-in-Bay not expecting to learn anything.
Yeah.
And then they show up here at the monument or they visit the historical center downtown, and they'll learn that the island has a pretty rich history.
Do you do a lot of tours? I imagine like the school tours are very popular here too.
Yep, beginning of the season and end of the season, we'll have a lot of school groups. The first few weeks we'll have Perry Education Days, which is a week we spend with school groups coming up here. We'll have historic camps set up, living history demonstrators to do historic weapons demonstrations, cooking demonstrations, and talk about some medical practices of the War of 1812.
We're approaching the rotunda now. I mean, this is part of the memorial too, like all the work that went into creating these steps too. What can we expect when we get inside?
So the Memorial Rotunda is the final resting place of 3 Americans, 2 British, and 1 Canadian officer that were killed during the Battle of Lake Erie. After the battle, they were interred in De Rivera Park downtown here, and then in 1913, while they were constructing the memorial, they were removed and reinterred here. The walls also contain carvings that have the names of all the American soldiers, sailors, Marines, and militiamen killed and wounded in the Battle of Lake Erie. The larger names on top of each stone are the names of the ship those men were on, and then the men's names are down below. This is the treaty that demilitarized the lakes. It limits each country, Canada and the United States, to one vessel, one military vessel on each lake, including Lake Champlain.
You can feel the history when you're in here. What are some common questions you have?
One of the most common questions we get is actually about the flags out on our flagpole outside. People often ask what flags we're flying and why they're flying the way they are. The 3 flags we fly outside are the 15-star American flag from the War of 1812, also known as the Star-Spangled Banner. That's the one that would have been flying over Fort McHenry when Francis Scott Key wrote the song. We fly the UK flag and the Canadian flag as well. That's because we're a peace memorial. It's also because we're technically a military graveyard with the officers buried here. People often ask why they're flying at the same height, and that's per U.S. flag code and international flag law. In times of peace, any 2 or more international flags flown together will fly at the same height.
Due to an elevator malfunction, our tour wrapped in the rotunda. For the curious like me, a live webcam offers views from the observation deck. History comes alive at the memorial and also at local establishments, like the 150-year-old Roundhouse Bar.
It lives up to the name, the Roundhouse. This is a very historic place. Tell me about the Roundhouse.
So the Roundhouse was built in 1873. It started out as an ice cream parlor, has evolved into a tavern. We have live music twice a day, and it is known for its whiskey light. When the whiskey light is on, we are open.
That means you're good to go.
We're good to go. We have a big whiskey light celebration at the beginning of our season when we open, and then we have a celebration when we turn the whiskey light off in October.
Very cool.
Fun for all ages that are over 21.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are known for serving buckets of beer. It's a bucket and it's filled with draft beer. People are known to drink the bucket of beer and then wear the bucket on their head, and the bucket head was born.
It's only just past 1 here, so I don't know if we're bucket on the head stage, but who knows? It's Put in Bay.
The bar expanded in 2000 while still retaining that unique charm.
Love that the band's behind the bar. That seems unique to have the stage up there. That obviously wasn't always the case because that's behind, the addition.
Well, the stage has gotten large too, but they've always been behind the bar.
They've always been there, no matter what. You guys are under the same umbrella as a hotel, the speakeasy and the chicken patio, so pretty much good working environment.
Yes, all family owned. We're known as the Red Shirts, and we take care of each other, watch out for each other, and work well together.
So be nice to Paula and the whole team when you come out here. They're doing a really good job serving you those big beers. Thank you very much.
Yes.
We're going to check out the hotel next.
Okay, sounds
So
great.
thanks for taking us through here. Hi, Jordan?
Yes.
Hey,
Jordan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for welcoming us in. The Park Hotel. This is beautiful. I mean, I walk in, it's very historic. I can tell right away. Tell me a little bit of history about this.
So this is actually our 150th year this year.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. You step in here, you kind of feel like you're taking a step into the past when you come in the lobby. It's kind of an honor to be like the steward of such a historical part of the island. We're the oldest hotel on the island. Cool thing about the lobby is the ceiling is the original tin ceiling. Yeah,
wow.
From 150 years ago. So of course there's been a lot of changes over the last 150 years. So the biggest challenge in that is keeping the historical nature of the hotel while trying to accommodate for modern travelers.
The hotel has 3 floors and 24 often booked rooms. I was lucky enough to get a peek at the most requested and allegedly haunted of them all.
So the story with room 14 is her name is the Governess. She used to, I believe she was a manager at one time here at the hotel.
You can feel it walking in here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she's present right now, I sense it.
The story goes that sometimes people can see her looking out these front windows.
Really?
These front windows face the hotel, face the chicken patio here. And at nighttime, there's been people who claim that they can see her looking over kind of the water and over the downtown area.
Yeah.
I also got a peek at the old dining room, which was renovated into the Red Moon Speakeasy. Open in the evening, look for the red light for your cue to enter. I couldn't move on from the Roundhouse area without exploring the origins of the barbecue aroma in the air, and that led me to the chicken patio.
It started about 70 years ago, and my grandma and grandpa came up with it because they lived in the hotel and they wanted to do food. So they decided to make a very large grill. We fill the whole grill. There's probably about 5 racks, and then we also stack them. On a normal weekend, we can go anywhere from 700 to 1,000 chickens. And my grandma came up with the wine-based barbecue sauce is what we're known for. So we use local wine. We dip them in our sauce that's right behind you, and we serve them with corn on the cob, potato salad, and a bread roll.
That takes it up a notch. That sauce, wow, it's got a little kick in the back of the throat too.
We recommend the extra sauce.
Wow, really, really good.
One Tank Travel with Tim McMahon is presented by Shores and Islands, Ohio.
there's no shortage of live music, lively atmosphere, and delicious food at Put-in-Bay. You can find all three at the family-friendly Frosties, an island tradition since 1949. Speaking of family, the Booker name is synonymous with the Bay, thanks to their numerous eateries like the Boardwalk, which I'll visit in a minute, and the Keys, where I found co-owner Eric Booker and an eager lunchtime crowd.
It's Thursday, 11 a.m. you open, and there was already a line up to get in. Is that pretty much the norm around here?
How about that? Yeah, this is awesome August. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
You had the Boardwalk, that's a success. What made you want to do this?
You know, myself, my family have always loved to go to the Florida Keys, whether it's Key West, whether it's Alamorada, one of our favorite vacation spots. So we wanted to bring a little bit of the Keys to Lake Erie. I think we did a pretty good job. It's a nice vibe. You're right on the water. You got the marina in the background. It's a great vibe.
Along with the Keys themed atmosphere comes an inspired menu.
It's so fun to get to develop a menu here because, you know, we're the Keys of the North. And it's fun because I get to travel down there during the winter and try all kinds of new, fun, exciting things and get inspiration to come back here that we can utilize on our menu. Today we're going to be making our mahi taco. It's one of our staples. We sell thousands a season. The taco is going to have an avocado puree that we put down. We make a red cabbage slaw with mango and diced pineapple. We put that in there, cheese and diced tomatoes. And we're also going to be making one of our conch fritters. This is Bohemian conch out of the Bahamas. And we add bell peppers to that, onions, and it's served with a pina colada dipping sauce.
This is amazing, and I was telling you in the kitchen, we stepped aside when we were talking, I was like, I can't remember the last time I had a conch fritter, and part of that reason is like, where would I get it around here?
There's no conch in Lake Erie, is there?
Exactly, no. But this comes right from the Keys in the Bahamas down there.
It does,
right?
yes it does, yes it does.
I love mahi, putting it in taco form, you can't beat it. I'm in the Keys right now, I swear I'm in the Keys.
You are in the Keys.
Well, I'm not fully immersed in the spirit of the Keys until I have a drink in hand. And for that, I went with the frozen bushwhacker.
So I'm just gonna go off the top of my head here. I'm tasting light rum, dark rum, white Russian mix in there, and chocolate milk.
Bingo!
I got it,
You did,
okay.
yes.
And it's frozen,
Yes,
it's
it is.
delicious.
With a little Hershey syrup on
Absolutely.
top, you know?
We will finish these, but we'll keep it at one because we're gonna head down to the boardwalk.
We are. We're gonna head down and have some lobster bisque and a lobster roll.
I can't wait.
On our short drive, I learned that Eric is a native of South Bass Island and still lives there year-round.
I love it. I love the balance. You know, it's busy, it's crazy, it's a lot of fun in the summertime, and then in the wintertime, or as it slows down in the fall, you can walk right down the middle of the street here, and you know everybody that's passing you, or maybe you might not even see anybody at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's really awesome. 1984, he built the first stage of the boardwalk. And we started out just doing Gulf shrimp and turkey sandwiches, and then we started experimenting with lobster bisque, and nobody had ever heard of lobster bisque.
Yeah.
The experimentation worked. Nearly 4 decades later, the Boardwalk Lobster Bisque is arguably the most famous menu item on the entire island.
What do we have here?
Oh man, are you ready for this?
Yeah, my
Are
second
you ready
lunch. I
for
think so.
36 lobsters in every batch of lobster bisque, Boardwalk lobster bisque.
36 lobsters
In every batch.
lobster in every batch. How
every
many
batch.
bowls are in a batch?
About 80.
80 bowls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's actually a good ratio of lobster.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And then we have our lobster roll
Yeah.
right here, which is a 1/4 pound of lobster meat tossed with a little goodness in there.
I'd like to meet someone who could do both the bisque and the lobster roll and finish them both because I want to shake their hand.
Oh.
This is a lot of food.
It's a lot of food, but it's done every day.
Is it
Oh,
really?
it really is. Yes, it is. It's like a party in your mouth.
Is this a
watch
bad time to tell you I'm allergic to lobster?
This would be a bad
This would be a
time.
bad
Yes,
time.
it would
Can you,
be, yes.
can you take it back?
Oh
It looks
man, I
great.
gotta
Yeah.
take this. All right, I'm
No,
leaving.
please don't. I'll devour that in seconds. That's great. The boardwalk. This is a staple.
As seen on GMA, right here.
That's right.
Right?
We're here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, they
yeah.
were.
Yeah. What's that feel like to you to be this, signature spot that people hit when they come
Oh,
here?
man,
Even without television cameras.
It's a blessing. I love it. These 3-4 months in the season, You got to get down there early. You got to start making the lobster bisque, making the lobster salad, so we can put smiles on everybody's faces.
It's hearty, it's creamy, it's so good, the bread's delicious. And then I just eat this whole thing?
You can.
For the camera, we do this, yeah. Why was lobster bisque the choice?
You know, it's kind of a fluke. But my dad said, I would like you guys to experiment, my sister Laura and I would like you to experiment with this lobster soup. Out in Maine, they had lobster bisque. So we said, that's where we're gonna start. And we just started playing around with different recipes, and it evolved over the first 10 years until what I like to say, we nailed it.
I mean, I heard about this when I was a kid.
Okay.
At that time, I actually didn't eat lobster. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat lobster. And I remember my parents talking about it, and they would come here, and this was always one of their main stops
that's
that
wonderful.
they would hit up, which I'm sure, you know, everybody's, you know, one of their top spots when they come here, and then they pass it down generation
to generation.
So do you get your lobsters from Maine, or
We
where
get
do you
our
them
lobsters from Nova Scotia.
Ooh, okay,
Yes,
really?
yes,
Yeah, nice.
yes, we do.
Same area, just a little
Same
more
area,
north.
yeah, just a little north of Maine.
When did you take over the boardwalk?
I think I was probably 25, 26 before he started stepping away, and I started taking the big wire whisk and making the bisque. Yeah.
So you were in the kitchen, and you
I was
did
in the
that.
kitchen, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where we all start, in the kitchen.
Was that fun?
I love it. I still get in there on Saturday.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
One Tank Travel with Tim McMahon is presented by Shores and Islands, Ohio.
On the south side of South Bass Island, away from the bustling downtown at Put in Bay, I found an active crowd, soaking up the sun and having a unique water recreational experience.
We're here for the Mammoth paddleboard, and it lived up to the name. I was standing next to it earlier, and I was like, good Lord. I mean,
crazy.
This is ginormous. That's pretty cool. That seems like a big draw for you guys around here.
It really is. The jet skis and power boats and kayaks and single paddle boards are all really popular, but boy, oh boy, when we put that Mammoth in service, it could fit a whole family on there, so we're getting a lot of business from that.
Yeah, we saw a couple smiling families going out there earlier today. If a group of friends want to get it, they can do it as well.
We just got the first one a couple years ago because we'd seen a large one that was 15 foot long, and then I was doing some research on it. I found out there was an 18 foot long one being manufactured in England. So got it here, and it proved to be immensely popular.
Yeah.
So we moved that one over to Kelly's, and we got two more for here.
Do you love more of this relaxed feel?
Without a doubt, Tim. Downtown is pretty crazy, but we're just one street away. If you just start at the boardwalk and you head out this way and stop before your feet are wet, then you'll be at our location. It's beautiful down here. The location and the view is just,
you can't beat it.
Unparalleled.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just down the road, adventure awaited 52 feet underground as I took a tour of Perry's Cave. Discovered in 1813 by Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry, the cave is a cool break from the hot summer sun. Across the street, Heineman's Winery is home to the one-of-a-kind Crystal Cave.
We're going 40 feet below the Earth's surface. We feature celestite crystals. It's a light baby blue colored crystal, and it's on the walls, ceiling. The mineral that makes it up is called strontium sulfate, and it forms similar to rock candy, but with rock candy the water drips away and the sugar crystals are what remains.
Yeah.
With these, the water drips away, and that strontium sulfate wants to take up as much space as possible, and it'll branch out and form these geometric shapes. We actually can't even really touch the crystals because the oils on our fingers permanently damage their
So I
color.
shouldn't be touching them.
Right. But
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. When they first started giving the tours, they invited people to touch them.
I can see some are different colors, yeah, so.
Discovered accidentally in 1897. That's about 10 years after our winery was established, when two of our workers were trying to dig that well. We hypothesized that the glacial scrapes that you might see on Kelly's Island, those are a great example of the fact that the glaciers form the Great Lakes. So therefore the glaciers might have had a large amount of that strontium sulfate in it. So once those glaciers melted, formed the Great Lakes, and the water finally seeped down through, that strontium would have been dripped away and branched out and formed these geometric shapes you see.
Yeah, they even look like glaciers, like the shape of them. That's really cool.
At ground level, I gave Heineman's a hand. Then, a taste test.
What are you pouring for us right now?
We are pouring Niagara. This is my personal favorite. It's made from grapes grown right down the street here. It's a medium sweet and it's very fruity. Tastes like you're eating a grape right off the vine.
I love that. So 125 years?
135.
35 years. Been in your family for generations then?
Yes, it was actually established by my great-great-grandfather, Gustav, back in 1888. He came from Germany. In 1880, he used to work at Golden Eagle Winery, or wine cellars, which later turned into lawns. But that's how he kind of got his start here. About the 1900s, before Prohibition, there was 17 wineries just on this island here. And we're the only original island winery left.
That's a mantle in which Dustin takes pride as he continues a family tradition.
You know, you don't see a lot of family-owned anything anymore. And for us to be celebrating 135 years and being Ohio's oldest family-owned and operated winery, it's a pretty cool story.
You have your vineyards around where we are now. This is like kind of your headquarters, which I love the vibes in here. I love the plastic cups. I mean, it's so welcoming though and like casual. I love the vibes in here. There's nothing wine snobbish about it.
Correct. We like the family atmosphere. A lot of people, think in our wine garden back there, you got your picnic tables and your grassy area. We kind of want it to be like your backyard, like your own backyard.
So what do you specialize in as far as wine goes?
Ohio, typically a lot of Ohio wine drinkers are sweet wine drinkers, but we do have some mediums and even some dries for the people that like the drier wines.
Yeah.
Our most popular is our Pinkataba. It's a semi-sweet pink wine made from a blend of the native Concord and Catawba grapes.
That's really good. Hints of green apple. What's it like on a day-to-day basis being here?
Hectic, but fun.
Yeah.
I love the history. Not only the history that we have here, but the history of the islands. With the vineyards, and at one time Hotel Victory was here, which was the world's largest wooden summer resort, burned down in 1919. But that, Put-in Bay's always been known for the family atmosphere.
Yeah, very much so. And the history, which we've learned all day today. We've had a lot of delicious food, drink. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So thank you. We're wrapping things up with you. Cheers to you again.
Cheers.
Thanks for welcoming us out to Put-in Bay.
You are welcome.